Ladies and gentlemen, in the philosophy of life, we often search for what it means to truly connect with ourselves, with others, and with the world. When we speak of touch, it is not merely the meeting of skin, but the deeper resonance that happens when one soul brushes against another. Today, let us reflect on the spaces within an older woman, a being of wisdom and grace, where touch transcends the physical and nourishes the spirit. The mind. To touch the mind is to engage in meaningful dialogue, to challenge, to listen, and to inspire. It is not about agreement but understanding. An older woman carries within her a lifetime of experiences, and to honor her mind is to honor her story. Speak to her, not merely with words, but with ideas that stretch beyond the mundane and awaken curiosity. The heart. The heart craves acknowledgement. The hands, a place where feelings are symbols of and valued, of creativity. Her heart is to show genuine appreciation. They tell the story of what has been given. Listening is an often present form of joy, physical, truly an expression to give their gift when silence and it says, not always with grand gestures, but listening ear allows her voice to rise above shared purpose and meaning. It is found not with the intent to alignment and in the acknowledgement of deeper truths. To touch her soul is to remind her that her essence is eternal, her value beyond time, and her wisdom a light that continues to shine. The spirit of laughter. Humor is a bridge that spans generations and lightens burdens. To touch the spirit of laughter is to remind her of the joy that still resides within. A moment of shared laughter is a moment of shared life. The presence of peace. Lastly, to touch her sense of peace is to offer stability, understanding, and a refuge from the chaos of the world. Peace is a gift, given through calm words, a steady demeanor, and the assurance that, in your presence, she is safe. Touch in its truest form is not limited to the body. It is an art that engages the mind, the heart, and the spirit. To touch an older woman with wisdom and care is to honor the life she has lived, the battles she has fought, and the love she continues to give. May we all strive to connect more deeply, to touch more thoughtfully, and to live more intentionally, not just with others, but within ourselves. Connection beyond the physical is the profound understanding that true relationships, whether they be with friends, family, or partners, extend far beyond the realm of mere physicality. It delves into the emotional, intellectual, and spiritual bonds that define the depth of our interactions with one another. While the physical aspect of connection is often immediate and tangible, it is the unseen threads that bind us in ways that endure beyond time, space, and even the limitations of words. To connect beyond the physical is to recognize the unseen, to appreciate the subtleties of the human experience, and to honor the essence of another person. To begin, connection beyond the physical starts with the recognition of individuality. Each person is a world within themselves, a universe of thoughts, emotions, memories, and dreams. To connect with someone at this level, one must approach them with curiosity, an openness to understanding their unique essence. This requires stepping outside of oneself, suspending judgments, and embracing empathy. It is not enough to see someone's actions or hear their words. One must endeavor to understand the motivations, fears, and hopes that lie beneath. In this way, connection becomes an act of discovery, a mutual exploration of what it means to be human. At the heart of such a connection is the power of presence. To be present with someone is to give them the gift of your undivided attention, to show them that in this moment nothing is more important than their existence. Presence is not merely being physically in the same space as someone. It is about being mentally and emotionally attuned to them. It is the act of truly listening, not just to their words, but to their silences, their hesitations, and the emotions that color their speech. When we are present with someone, we create a space in which they feel seen, heard, and valued. This is a rare and precious gift in a world that is increasingly noisy and distracted. Listening, in this context, becomes a sacred act. To listen to someone fully is to honor their story, to acknowledge their experiences, and to validate their feelings. It is an act of humility, requiring us to set aside our own thoughts and opinions and focus entirely on the other person. This kind of listening fosters trust and opens the door to deeper understanding. It allows us to connect with someone's inner world, to see them not as a collection of actions or appearances, but as a whole, complex and beautiful being. Beyond listening, connection beyond the physical involves the ability to resonate with someone's emotions. This is the realm of empathy, where we step into another person's shoes and feel, to the extent that we can, what they are feeling. Empathy bridges the gap between individuals, dissolving the barriers that separate us and creating a shared emotional experience. It is through empathy that we can offer comfort, understanding, and support. When we empathize with someone, we communicate to them that they are not alone, that their struggles and joys are understood and shared. Such a connection also requires vulnerability. To truly connect with someone, we must be willing to open ourselves up, to share our own thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This can be difficult, as vulnerability often feels risky. It requires us to let down our defenses, to expose parts of ourselves that we might otherwise keep hidden. Yet, it is through vulnerability that we create space for intimacy and trust. When we are willing to be vulnerable, we invite others to do the same, and in doing so, we forge connections that are authentic and meaningful. Another aspect of connection beyond the physical is the ability to inspire and be inspired. This involves engaging with someone on an intellectual level, sharing ideas, exploring new perspectives, and challenging each other to grow. Intellectual connection stimulates the mind and ignites curiosity. It pushes us to think more deeply, to question our assumptions, and to expand our understanding of the world. This kind of connection is not about agreement, but about engagement. It is about finding joy in the exchange of ideas and the pursuit of knowledge. Spiritual connection, too, plays a vital role. This is not necessarily about shared religious beliefs, but about a shared sense of purpose or meaning. It is the recognition that we are all part of something larger than ourselves, whether that be a community, a shared mission, or the broader human experience. Spiritual connection is about finding common ground in our values, our aspirations, and our understanding of what it means to live a good and meaningful life. It is about supporting each other in the pursuit of our highest selves and celebrating the moments when we achieve them. Trust is the foundation upon which all these elements of connection are built. Without trust, there can be no true intimacy, no genuine understanding, no shared vulnerability. Trust is earned through consistency, honesty, and integrity. It is built over time through countless small acts of kindness, reliability, and respect. Trust allows us to feel safe in our connections, to open ourselves up without fear of judgment or betrayal. It is the bedrock of all meaningful relationships. Connection beyond the physical is also about the recognition of shared humanity. It is the understanding that, despite our differences, we are all fundamentally the same. We all have fears, dreams, and desires. We all seek love, acceptance, and belonging. When we connect with someone on this level, we see them not as other, but as a reflection of ourselves. This recognition fosters compassion and breaks down the barriers that divide us. It reminds us that we are all interconnected, that our lives are intertwined in ways both seen and unseen. This kind of connection is not something that happens passively. It requires effort, intention, and practice. It requires us to show up, to be present, to listen, to empathize, and to be vulnerable. It requires us to step outside of ourselves and into the world of another, but the rewards of such effort are immeasurable. When we connect with someone beyond the physical, we create relationships that are deeply fulfilling, relationships that nourish our souls and enrich our lives. Connection beyond the physical also transcends time and space. It is not bound by proximity or circumstance. We can feel deeply connected to someone even when we are apart, even when we are separated by miles or years. This is because true connection is not about the external but about the internal. It is about the bond that exists between two souls, a bond that remains even when the physical world changes. Such connections remind us of the enduring power of love, understanding, and shared humanity. In a world that often prioritizes the superficial, connection beyond the physical is a radical act. It is a refusal to settle for the surface, a commitment to delve deeper. It is an acknowledgement of the sacredness of human relationships and the profound impact they have on our lives. It is a reminder that, at our core, we are not isolated individuals but interconnected beings, bound together by the invisible threads of empathy, understanding, and love. As we navigate our relationships, let us strive to connect beyond the physical. Let us approach each interaction with curiosity, presence, and empathy. Let us honor the individuality of those we meet and seek to understand their inner worlds. Let us build trust, share vulnerability, and celebrate the shared humanity that unites us all. For in doing so, we not only enrich the lives of others, but also deepen our own experience of what it means to truly live. The power of presence and listening is an extraordinary force that shapes the foundation of human connection. In a world that often moves too quickly, where distractions are abundant and attention is fragmented, the act of being fully present with someone is rare and profoundly impactful. It is more than simply being physically near another person. It is an intentional choice to focus all of your attention and energy on them, to honor their existence and experiences in that moment. When combined with deep listening, presence becomes a transformative gift, creating a space where understanding, empathy, and trust can flourish. Being present means that you set aside the noise of your internal world to focus entirely on the person in front of you. This requires letting go of the incessant chatter of your own thoughts, your to-do lists, and the constant pull of digital distractions. It demands a level of mindfulness that allows you to fully engage with the moment and the individual. This state of presence is not passive. It is active and intentional. It involves an openness to truly seeing and experiencing the person before you, free of preconceived notions or judgments. When you give someone your full presence, you are telling them without words that they matter, that their thoughts and feelings are important, and that you are here for them completely. Listening, in its truest sense, is an extension of presence. It is more than simply hearing the words someone speaks. It is about understanding the meaning, emotions, and context behind those words. Effective listening requires focus, patience, and empathy. It is a deliberate act of tuning in to not only what is being said, but also what is left unsaid. The power of presence and listening lies in its ability to create a safe space for vulnerability. When someone feels truly heard and understood, they are more likely to open up, to share their authentic self without fear of judgment or rejection. This kind of openness fosters deeper relationships, built on trust and mutual respect. It allows people to feel seen and valued, not just for what they do or say, but for who they are at their core. The safety that comes from being fully listened to can be profoundly healing, especially in moments of pain, uncertainty, or struggle. Presence and listening also strengthen empathy. the ability to understand and share the feelings of the act of listening with empathy begins with the willingness to set aside your own perspective and in moments of disagreement or tension it is tempting to focus on defending your own point of view, listening deeply, often at the expense of conditions for empathy to emerge. However, when you approach these moments with presence and a genuine willingness to listen as if they were your own, the possibility for resolution bridges the gap between individuals. By giving the other person fostering a sense to express themselves fully, you demonstrate respect and care. Despite our differences, we all share tension and pave the way for constructive dialogue. Listening does not mean agreeing, but it does mean acknowledging the validity of the other person's feelings and perspectives. This acknowledgement is often enough to shift the dynamic of a conversation, allowing both parties to move forward with greater understanding. Presence and listening are also acts of love. They are a way of showing someone that they are worth your time and attention, that their existence matters to you. In a world where so many people feel unseen and unheard, the simple act of being fully present with someone can be profoundly affirming. It is a way of saying, I see you, I value you, I am here for you. This kind of love is not necessarily romantic. It is the love that exists between friends, family members, colleagues, and even strangers. It is a universal expression of care and compassion, a reminder of our shared humanity. The power of presence and listening extends beyond individual relationships. It has the potential to ripple outward and impact entire communities. When people feel heard and understood, they are more likely to engage positively with others. They are more likely to listen in return, creating a cycle of mutual respect and empathy. This can transform the dynamics of a group, fostering a culture of openness, collaboration, and trust. In this way, the simple acts of presence and listening can become a force for greater connection and harmony within society. The practice of presence and listening also benefits the listener. When you give someone your full attention, you are not only enriching their life, but also deepening your own often prioritizes speed and efficiency over stories, their insights, and their perspectives. It is easy to fall into the habit of your ability to empathize, of dividing your attention between a conversation and your phone. This kind of engagement can be profoundly other demands on your time, reminding you of the beauty and complexity of the rewards of practicing true presence and listening far outweigh in your own life. By making a conscious choice to slow down, mindfulness, to set aside distractions, and to fully engage with the people in your life, you open the door to deeper, more meaningful connections. Listening also requires humility, the willingness to admit that you do not have all the answers, that there is always more to learn, and that every person you encounter has something valuable to share. This humility allows you to approach each interaction with an open mind and an open heart, ready to be changed by what you hear. It is a recognition that everyone has a story worth telling, and that by listening you honor their story and the person they are. Presence and listening are not confined to words. They extend to the silence between words. Often the most powerful moments in a conversation occur in the spaces where no one is speaking. These silences can be filled with emotion, with understanding, with a depth that words cannot capture. By being present in these moments, by sitting with the silence rather than rushing to fill it, you demonstrate a level of comfort and trust that speaks volumes. You show that you are not just hearing the other person, but truly being with them in all their complexity and humanity. The power of presence and listening lies in its simplicity and universality. It does not require special skills, tools, or resources. It is something that everyone is capable of, regardless of age, background, or circumstances. Yet its impact is profound, touching the very core of what it means to connect with another person. It is a reminder that the most meaningful interactions are often the simplest ones, the moments when we set aside everything else and give someone the full measure of our attention and care. Celebrating wisdom and legacy is an acknowledgement of the profound impact that experience, knowledge, and actions leave on individuals and communities. It is the recognition that wisdom, often gained through years of challenges, successes, failures, and reflections, is a treasure that cannot be replicated or replaced. It is the appreciation of legacy, the lasting imprint of a life well lived, a gift passed down to inspire, teach, and guide future generations. To celebrate wisdom and legacy is to honor the enduring value of what has been learned, shared, and created over time. Wisdom is more than just knowledge. It is the ability to apply understanding with insight, compassion, and discernment. It is born from lived experience and refined through thoughtful reflection. It comes from navigating the complexities of life, from making choices, and from learning the lessons that emerge from those choices. Wisdom often speaks in simplicity, offering profound truths that resonate deeply because they are rooted in reality. It is not confined to a specific age, but it is often associated with those who have lived longer because they have had more time to encounter the breadth and depth of life's experiences. Celebrating wisdom involves valuing the voices of those who have journeyed before us, those who carry the collective memory of a family, a community, or a culture. Their stories, insights, and guidance are a bridge between the past and the future, offering perspective and grounding in an ever-changing world. Wisdom is not static. It evolves as it is shared, discussed, and applied. By celebrating it, we ensure that its value endures and continues to shape the lives of those who come after. Legacy, on the other hand, is the enduring impact of a life's work, choices, and influence. It is the imprint left on the hearts, minds, and lives of others. Legacy is not limited to grand achievements or public recognition. It is also found in the quiet, everyday acts of kindness, the lessons imparted to a child, the encouragement offered to a friend, or the integrity demonstrated in moments of difficulty. Legacy is what remains when the physical presence fades. It is the intangible yet deeply felt contribution of a life lived with purpose. Celebrating wisdom and legacy is not merely an act of looking back. It is also an act of looking forward. When we honor the wisdom of those who have come before us, we create a foundation upon which we can build. We learn from their successes and their mistakes, gaining a roadmap for navigating our own journeys. By embracing their legacy, we carry forward the values, principles, and aspirations that have shaped our understanding of what it means to live a meaningful life. This continuity is essential for the growth and evolution of individuals and societies. One of the most powerful ways to celebrate wisdom and legacy is through storytelling. Stories are vessels for wisdom, capturing the essence of a person's experiences and the lessons they have learned. They allow us to connect with the humanity of those who have come before us, to see the world through their eyes, and to understand the challenges and triumphs that have shaped them. Stories have the power to inspire, to teach, and to remind us of our shared humanity. They bridge the gap between generations, allowing wisdom to flow freely from one to the next. Another way to honor wisdom and legacy is through acts of gratitude. Acknowledging the contributions of others and expressing appreciation for the guidance and support they have provided is a meaningful way to celebrate their impact. Gratitude reinforces the value of their wisdom and legacy, affirming that their efforts have made a difference. It is a way of saying, "You matter. Your life and your lessons have meaning, and they have touched my life in ways that I will carry forward." Now, celebrating wisdom and legacy also involves creating opportunities for mentorship and learning. When those with wisdom and experience share their knowledge with others, they enrich not only the lives of individuals, but also the fabric of the community. Mentorship is a way of passing down the torch, of ensuring that the insights and lessons of one generation are not lost, but are instead used to illuminate the path for the next. It is an act of generosity and an acknowledgement of the interconnectedness of human lives. This celebration is not limited to the elderly or those who have achieved great renown. It is about recognizing the unique contributions of every individual. Wisdom can be found in unexpected places, in the quiet reflections of someone who has lived a simple life, in the resilience of someone who has faced adversity, or in the creativity of someone who has found new ways to solve old problems. Legacy, too, is not confined to the famous or the influential. It is present in the lives of those who have made a difference in their own spheres, no matter how small or humble they may seem. By celebrating wisdom and legacy, we also challenge the societal tendency to prioritize youth and novelty over age and experience. In doing so, we affirm the value of all stages of life and the contributions that each has to offer. We recognize that wisdom is not a diminishing resource but a growing one, enriched by the passage of time and the accumulation of experiences. We honor the fact that every individual, regardless of age, has the potential to leave a legacy that matters. Celebrating wisdom and legacy is not only an external act, but also an internal one. It involves reflecting on the wisdom and legacy within ourselves, acknowledging the lessons we have learned and the impact we have had on others. It is an invitation to live intentionally, to consider the values and principles that guide our actions, and to think about the legacy we wish to leave behind. By doing so, we align our lives with our deepest aspirations, ensuring that our time on this earth is not only meaningful to ourselves, but also enriching to others. This celebration is an act of hope. It is a reminder that even in a world filled with uncertainty and change, the wisdom of those who have come before us provides a steady compass. It is a testament to the enduring power of human connection, the way in which lives intersect and influence one another in ways both seen and unseen. By honoring wisdom and legacy, we affirm that no life is lived in isolation, that every action, every choice, and every lesson has the potential to create ripples that extend far beyond the individual.